Randy, did he say the best dancer on the planet?
Sounded like it.
Okay, let's hear the other guys. Also the oldest player on the court, over 40 years old. Well, that's all 4 players, Randy. I'll take you through how we got to this point. We started on Friday with 4 pools of 4 players. The top 2 players from each of those pools came out and played in 2 pools of 4 on Saturday, yesterday, and today the top 2 players from each of those pools played in a round robin. The number 1 team out of that round robin was Alexander Samoilovs, so he got his pick of any player in the group as his partner, and he chose Casey Patterson. Ricardo Santos was second in the group, so he got to choose any player, and he chose Taylor Crabb. Now this final match, or this final game, is to 28 points for all the money. Pretty good first rally.
First little point there goes in a very windy conditions. I'm Randy Stokes along with St. Smith here. Casey Patterson now back to serve. On a footnote to all of that, Samoilovs in the first day, he had an opportunity to come out of pool. It got all tied up. There were 3 players that were playing, and he had to go into a playoff, and they played a single half-court game where it was so interesting that he was down. There was 2 players that were at 14, a game to 15. He gets into a side out, and he sides out 8 times to basically win 15-14. And then yesterday, he had even a closer game in regards to points, and needless to say, won by 1 point. And here is Alexander Samoilovs arguing a little point at the net right here. So it's been an interesting road for a couple of the players.
None of that matters now. It's all about these 4 players right now. First place, $14,000 for the winner.
In 1 game to 28 points. Only 1 game. This thing will go very quickly.
Yeah.
And then Neil say one of the toughest conditions that I've really been a part of in a long, long time. Neil say a little bit cold and windy in Huntington Beach.
Good side is the side where Alexander served from, serving into the wind. Most of the points will be scored on the good side because you can really put some weight behind your serve and it moves around, and very hard to pass set on the bad side with the wind at your back.
Good point, Santon, but I like what Santos does here. He puts up a rainbow serve back to the deep court, tries to get that ball floating around, and sure enough, gets an opportunity. But Casey Patterson just really makes a good move there by swinging from the right side off the block. Here's the replay. Pushes that all the way up to the net. Sure enough, takes a good swing and uses Ricardo Santos, Olympic gold medalist.
Ooh, he served it into the wind, but the wind didn't really affect that ball, and it just flew out of bounds.
It'd be very interesting to see if any of these players are really going to go to a pure jump serve, because it all important throw or toss. If you throw it off a little bit, and here it is, Taylor Crabb throwing a low one, putting some pressure on Samoilovs on the left side. You got to love Samoilovs. Every single time is so engaged with everybody on the court, with the Lion King and the bark and the yell, especially after this play, even the little chisel.
Well, Ricardo's not going to get used that often. You're going to see him slap some of those balls back at some point. Nice shot by Taylor, just poking it over the block.
Taylor Crabb's been in a kind of an interesting situation because he hasn't had the opportunity to really play all today or yesterday because he got knocked out fairly early. But sure enough, Ricardo Santos asked him to go and play and says, deliver for me, as they're up by 1 point. Well, 1 game to 28.
No touch on the block, and it was, I think, a pretty obvious choice for Ricardo to pick Taylor. Taylor's one of the best defensive players and is a great offensive player. He doesn't really have a weakness, and he knows how to win. So I think they make a great matchup.
Samoilovs at the net, blocks the first good ball, but that ball is just too tough. A big rainbow back to the corner. Here's the replay. There's the good block at the net. Here's the shot that goes deep to the beat line, and Casey Patterson just can't handle that. Point goes to Taylor Crabb.
Big hit, no touch on the block. That ball sails long. Again, the wind at your back, you go up to hit the ball, and now it's all of a sudden it's about a foot further in front of you, and he let that ball fly.
Not only in your back, but falling into the inside, and there's a nice little float serve short that gets Casey Patterson stuck with some lead boots.
Hey, I don't care how good of a passer you are. When the ball's coming into the wind at you, it can drop, it can carry, it can move right, left. You just don't know. Like that, there you go. It almost was the same serve, but the wind took it out of bounds.
It's a funny thing. When you go and serve one way and you score a point, you kind of second guess yourself. Should you go back to the same way, or you do something different? He tries something different and it doesn't work for him, so he scores one and gives one up, but still up by 2. But the difficulty is now they're on the bad side with Samoilovs serving into the wind. They attack Santos. And there's a mishandled ball. It actually came out well, and he's looking. This has happened to me numerous times in my career where, you know, it might have been juggled a little bit, but the ball came out fairly nice.
Well, it came out really clean. I was really surprised on that kind of pass, a really high pass in this wind, that he was even going to try to take it with his hands, and it came out all right, but he kind of juggled it a little bit while it was in his hands.
And there's the second service error right now for Latvia's Alexander Samoilovs, as they give away an easy point for Santos and Crabb, now up by 2-9-7.
There's that deep floater. That ball blows back. It blew back behind Casey. He had to reach way back and shoot it deep, and it just went out of bounds.
It's very, very difficult. Exactly.
Up,
and
high,
he just
over
rolls
the block.
Yep, so far back that you can't control that. It's just too far back, and it chips it out of bounds. Santos now back to the little lollipop serve. Tim Hovland and Mike Dodd, and there's another ball that just he's almost going, and Ricardo goes, just take it easy. I'm going to get to that.
Yeah,
just give me a little time. Just give me a little time. Sure enough, you can see this after he just like goes and says, okay, take it easy. Casey Patterson back to serve for the United States. To Ricardo. Santos takes the ball from the right side. Ricardo, I got to tell you, you know, at 42, 43 years of age, he's like fine wine. He's getting better and better as he's getting older.
Yeah, and he's done everything in the sport. I mean, he's been to 4 Olympics. He's got a gold medal. He played with one of the best players in the world, in my mind, Emmanuel Rego. And now he's still playing today.
There's a free ball opportunity for the Brazilian from the left side. He goes up and hits a ball and scores.
That's a big cross-court hit. Casey was there, but he just couldn't control it. Here it is again. There's the first play. Back over, gets another try. Big cross-court, too much heat.
Here's Casey Patterson from the right side, giving it a good look, and he kind of looks and just then chops the ball straight down past the big blocker to go to the technical timeout at leading 12-9 as Casey Patterson looks and just blasts away on the good side. So we're back to the technical timeout, and we're going to go to commercial right now.
Well, we're back now, the end of the technical timeout. And What a way to spend your December day at the beach. A little windy, a little breezy, but people have a chance to watch some of the best volleyball players in the world playing right here in Southern California in Huntington Beach. Thank you to 1440.
P1440's Huntington Beach Top Gun event. It's been quite an interesting one. And Neil say we're back to action with Alexander Samoilovs. Back to serve, the Lion King attacking the Brazilian from the right side. And there's just a nice little loopy. Just look, you know, what really impresses me about Ricardo is the length of his arms. I mean, they're almost rubbing on the sand as he walks. It just is incredible. Let's see what type of service he puts up next here in regards to trying to get something going for his team. They go to Casey Patterson, and there's a great dig by Taylor Crabb, and we're going to try to keep this ball in the court, and sure enough does. They go back to Casey. Casey attacks out of the middle and chops the ball back to the line. Casey, you got to say, kind of cagey guy, just chipping that ball around. Wouldn't think that he had that much room to go and put that ball away, and sure enough does.
Well, and he took his eye off the set, which is very, very tricky with this kind of wind. You take your eye off the ball when it's up in the air, it's going to be in a different place when you go back up to look because of the wind, but he does a very good job of it.
His nickname, Suave Hawk, with the haircut that he has, sponsored by Mitchell Hair Products. Back to serve, Casey. They attack Taylor.
Nice high hit. Randy, that's coming to you.
Yep, that one is. I can set that. There he goes. I'll set that back. Tough ball to control, a lot of wind, especially when you get even a good dig. That ball's going up, as you could see on both sides. Taylor Crabb now back to serve, up by 4. Game to 28. And there's another good dig by Taylor. Taylor takes it from the right side and goes up and over the block. It's funny, before the game started, I said, Taylor, what are you doing? Are you going to warm up? He goes, no, we're just going to win.
In the wind. So they're on the good side. You're going to score most of the points on the good side, serving into the wind. In their head, they got to love their position right now.
That ball just gets hit inside, off the block, just barely touches, and Ricardo goes, thumbs up. Yes, it did touch me. We'll get the replay right here. There's the pass, and Suave Hawk turns the ball, just barely touching. Ball goes out wide, but there's a touch call. Point goes to Samoilovs and Patterson.
Hard high into the block, off the block. Samoilovs is not happy. He wants to block one of these balls. He knows he has to.
All starts with a pass engine here, and Taylor Crabb just blasts that thing through, and he got the big old smile on his face like, I got that one through, thank goodness. It's Ricardo Santos back to serve.
Good set, kept it off the net, so the block took the block out of it. Casey makes a nice cut shot, puts that ball away. Here it is, watch the set, he keeps it off the net, and a little cut inside. Taylor looking for the line shot, but not this time.
You can't tell so much on your screens at home, but it is blowing like you can't believe. It's white-capped out to sea, and needless to say, very difficult conditions for all 4. Taylor Crabb passes a perfect ball, gets a great set, then loopies it over. Ball's still alive, but Casey can't get around him like that. That's the difference between basically coming together for the first time and being a team. There's those little innuendos that really kind of sometimes don't go in your favor.
Well, neither team, loosely I call it team, they've never played together, you know, so they don't know each other. I mean, they know each other from playing against each other. They know certain tendencies. But how you work together, you don't know until you get out there and do it. And it kind of looks like Taylor and Ricardo are meshing just a little bit better than Casey and Alexander.
Well, there's a second good set by Samoilovs from Latvia to Casey Patterson, and he puts that ball away. Now Samoilovs back to serve. Chops that ball cross court to Ricardo. Ricardo attacks from the right side. Here's an opportunity. Yes, they're going to keep that ball alive. They're going to go and up again to Ricardo, and Ricardo says, not once, but twice, I'll take care of that business.
Yeah, and that was a big hit from the right side. Of all the sides to hit from, the right side with the wind at your back, if you're a right-hander, is the most difficult place to hit it from. But look what he does. He gets a nice set, and he just buries that ball cross court.
Here's a little short serve where he sneaks it in. I like this kind of thinking because that's just a sweet play by Samoilovs to go and pass that ball, get an approach, and then chop that ball cross court. Kind of Ricardo let him off the hook there, kind of not staying at the net.
Yeah, the blocker's always got to be up at the net until you see that actual set. But that set was really going off the net, so I could see Ricardo backing up. It was kind of an okay decision. Wow. Oh.
That ball just goes out wide. Ricardo's going to go and come over and take a look at it going, I can't believe I just missed that. Didn't it hit the line going out? But no, it's out by only a couple inches, and you're going to see this cut shot as it just goes and trickles right along and just out.
Yeah. The ball mark can be out, but the ball could have hit the line on the way out, but not in this case.
Big serve by Casey Patterson from the right side, just goes out wide. And again, that's all starts with the toss, and that ball got blown out to his right hand. Couldn't keep it, pull it back in as Taylor Crabb is about to serve from the USA.
Casey is doing a really good job of using the block. I mean, I don't know if he's trying to hit it off the inside hand or what he's trying to do, but he's swinging high, hitting hands, and the ball's ricocheting out of bounds. Pretty good tooling by him.
Ricardo Santos just shaking his head, but you know what? It's just a matter of time, and you know that for a blocker where he's going to get hot and block a good ball. But still, now Samoilovs and Patterson down by 3, serving from the bad side. And there's a dig, and there's an opportunity. They go on 2. Maybe there was a touch. There's another opportunity for Suave Hawk from the left side. He goes up in the left-handed little change it up, and now let's see the little bit of the pop lock that he is associated with his dance moves. We're not going to see it right now. I guess it's too early in the game, but here's a great shot as he goes
lefty.
up.
It was a lefty little pop over the block.
And just changes it up on him, and sure enough, Samoilovs comes in within 2. And there's another good dig by Patterson, and Patterson gets the ball on top of the net. He doesn't attack. There's an opportunity that's gone by. Here's another opportunity for him, and sure enough, that one could be the one that is a nail in the coffin because it was such a perfect set, came on top of the net. He thought it was going to blow over, but he didn't take advantage of it, and especially with nobody up. That might be the play of the game.
Yeah, and plus he made 2 great digs. The first one, kind of a pretty good dig. The next one, incredible dig to keep that rally going. Casey Patterson.
Casey Patterson, you don't know how difficult this is. We're gonna get a replay of this. He takes the ball from the right side. He comes in, attacks from the left, and then he hits the ball down the line. The wind is at their back. It's such a difficult ball to put away right there.
And it barely clips the back line. Here we go. There's another point. Yes, point for Samoilovs.
And I think Taylor Crabb and the Brazilian are saying that ball never crossed the plane of the net. And he was basically an attacker, but you can't touch the ball until the ball crosses the plane of the net. And I think that's what a little bit of the argument was. And from my vantage point, I think that they're correct. So we're back into a 1-point game.
Let's see if we can tell from this play right here. Hard to tell from that position. Another point. And the argument is that Samoilovs went up and hit that ball, but he carried it with an open hand. That was their argument, and the referee is taking no part of it at all. He's going, nope, good play, clean play, and that's a timeout for Taylor and Ricardo. And I don't know if you see Ricardo's upset.
Well, this is, how much money is involved. First place for Ricardo or the Lion King will be $14,000 for their
for them.
Yes, for them as an individual.
Because they were the ones who were first and second out of all of the Top Gun tournament. So whichever one wins, they'll take $14K. The second place team will take
$9,750.
right. And their partners, respectively, the winner's partner gets $1,250. The second place team partner gets $750. All good stuff. I mean, the partners are just lucky to be here. They were out of the tournament.
And they're happy to cash a check for $1,000 or $2,000 like that, and especially winning with a player that's been so really kind of looked at as the top players in the world. What a fun opportunity for them in itself.
And look at what we got. We're 20 all in a game to 28. Couldn't be any better. The fans here are loving it. They've been watching for 3 days, seeing how this tournament comes out. 4 pools down to 2 pools, down to 1 pool, 2 top players, picking any player in the tournament. And this is where we are, 20 to 20.
This is kind of like a bet game for $4,250 difference. It's like almost like golf, where the guy's over the 5-foot putt for thousands of dollars, and if he makes it, he's a winner. If he doesn't, then he's losing that money. We're at 20 all.
Casey Patterson serving from the bad side. Wind at his back. He's just got to keep it in.
They go to Santos from the right side, and Santos goes up and over. Samoilovs just rolls that thing for a 21-20 lead, game to 28. So every one of these little touches here in the next couple minutes are going to be so important. Taylor Crabb opts to go to a float serve rather than jump serve. He serves that ball into the net, ties the game up at 21 all.
Well, without this wind, that serve might have gone deep into the court, but with this wind, it'll move that ball a couple feet in any direction.
I think it's nervous time for everyone involved here, as Samoilovs goes back to serve and says, you know what, I've gone through so much through the whole last couple days. I really want to win this thing. As Taylor Crabb takes care of his business for the United States, puts that ball away. U.S. Brazil.
Casey Jennings, how you doing? Hey, grab that mic and let's have a little chit chat. What are you thinking? This tournament's been awesome so far.
Oh my gosh, these guys, they had them handled for a minute.
For more than a minute, and there's a big hit.
And then they tied it 21 all.
And there's the big hit by Suave Hawk that just goes out long. He's asking for the touch, and originally the referee calls it to the Brazilian, and Ricardo's like going, listen, I didn't touch it, and sure enough, they're going to stay with that call.
2 points on the bad side. That's huge right now. They scored these points.
And Ricardo goes to a jump float serve. Kind of different right now, but sure enough, kind of works. And there's the block tight. And you know what? It's time that he scores that point. Casey, he had opportunities throughout this whole match to block many, many balls. And sure enough, he got a bit frustrated. And I told Santon, just wait. It's going to happen.
Gets them when they count.
That's right.
Patient and hungry.
Yeah, you know that Ricardo at some point he's going to get you in trouble with his block, and like Randy said at the beginning, it didn't happen, but now all he needs is 1 or 2, and it makes all the difference.
Very interesting choice of serving right now, kind of a jump float flat straight ahead where he was going to the lollipop beforehand. There's a good dig by Taylor, but nobody can handle it as it hits the antenna onto the outside. Now Suave Hawk, Patterson, and Samoilovs down by 2.
On the good side. They need a point right now.
How good Ricardo. I said, hey, who are you going to pick today? I'm available. He said, Casey, I love to play with you, but I want to pick Taylor Crabb. I said, well, he's not here. Let me call him. I called him. Taylor said, hey, CJ, what's up? I said, listen, I need you down at the beach. Ricardo wants to play with you in the final. He goes, I'll be there in 45 minutes. I'm just getting a burrito. I'm in line for breakfast. I'll see you soon. And here we are, 25-22, ready to get 3 more points to win a King of the Beach style event.
Exactly.
Top gun.
And the funny thing is that Ricardo Santos goes, he's warming up with my jersey on. He's going, are you ready to play? I said, I haven't done it in years.
So good.
From the good side.
What a beautiful thing. Look at the future. Ricardo has a gold medal and a silver.
And a bronze.
And Taylor is looking to get his medals at some point in his life.
What a
they're playing
great
together.
little rainbow. That was called hook, line, and sinker
was a
as he
jumbo
threw
up the
that
middle.
thing out. Exactly. And Alexander Samoilovs couldn't handle that ball. And Ricardo Santos
They know
getting
they're on
all
the good
the
side.
crowd fired up.
He knows he's on the good side,
Yeah.
Sinjin.
That's huge. Going to the good side with a lead like this, game to 28, it means everything. They just got to get the ball on the court. Feel that wind. It's so windy. It's so hard to
my
side
gosh.
out on the bad side.
And that corner Casey's in, you just get it over there, and it's just a nightmare to chase the set around.
There it is on our note with Ricardo Santos from Brazil with the big block on Casey Patterson. Samoilovs has been buttering up those good sets for him, and Casey's been really pretty consistent with putting that ball away, Casey.
But you're going to get burned by Ricardo eventually.
It's just that chokehold. You think you're okay, and then all of a sudden you're tapping out.
We are at point set Top Gun Championship, and he serves the ball out long.
Oh! But all they got to do is side out. They're on the good
Four
side.
tries, 4 match points.
As Ricardo now takes his time, kind of goes and does a little cleanup on the sand, and he goes, I just can't believe what I just did. But all they have to do is side out one
They're
time.
both hitting deep, high, and hard. Right
And
here.
here's Taylor on
He's
the
going
left side.
high,
He takes a swing, hits
One
the ball
time,
out of
there's
bounds.
Out of bounds. Oh,
25,
no.
Now he's going
27.
high, hard, deep angle.
Nervous time right now. Nervous
He's
time.
going high, hard, deep angle.
They go to Taylor again. Taylor from the left side for
Tight.
tournament. Joust at the
For the
net,
game.
and that's it. And Ricardo Santos is celebrating with a big win for the first event for P1440's Top Gun Huntington Beach. There is your champion, Ricardo Santos.
That's right, $14,000. His partner had kind of just basically was invited at the last minute, gets $1,250. So that's pretty incredible first time event. Very exciting for the crowd.
Yes, Taylor Crabb said to me, we're just gonna win, baby, win. And sure enough, there they are celebrating together. He goes, thanks for giving me the phone call and making me a little money.
There's the check, Casey Jennings handing over the big dough and the trophy from Surf City, Huntington Beach.
Taylor Crabb and Ricardo Santos, USA and Brazil, come together for the championship of the Top Gun Huntington Beach P1440 Invitational. Congratulations to these guys, and the champagne is flowing.
Okay, he's going after somebody. I think they want to douse Casey Jennings with the champagne.
No, it's Ricardo's son that's coming in here. He says, son, let me show you how it's done, and you can do it for me. Here we go. What a great moment for the Santos is. And sure enough, there's a little drink by Taylor Crabb. Congratulations to these guys, and congratulations to Ricardo Santos for a big, big win at the P1440 event. Sinjin, what do you think?
Well, hopefully we're going to see some highlights here. We'll see how the game went. It went too quick for me. Game